Hey guys, I'm back with another video. I'm going to give you some very basic tips that will help you keep your warrior alive either during your classic fresh server journey or possibly the hardcore fresh server as well. As you can see here, I am playing my shirtless orc. I am doing a challenge myself over on my Twitch where I am doing an orc without a chest piece, and I'm forcing myself to dual wield level all the way to 60 starting at level 20. You can check that out. The link is above. Let's go ahead and get started. So one of the first tips I'm going to give you actually applies to pretty much all levels, and it's called the dead zone. Now the dead zone, if you're a new player, you probably have never heard of, but you've also heard of this term if you potentially play a hunter. And it's for a melee to find the sweet spot on a mob to where they won't auto attack you anymore from ranged. Now this only applies to mobs that shoot you with a gun, that have a bow and arrow, a ranged weapon, any sort of physical ranged auto attack. This does not apply to any mob that uses spells. So please keep that in mind when I tell you about these things. So we're going to go ahead and go up to this hunter. Any mob that is a hunter definitely has a ranged auto attack. You'll kind of figure it out as you go. So I'm going to just say I need to get out of this situation and aggro this hunter. Do you see how he's auto attacking me like this, just normally like this? Let's say I'm in a weird situation where there's a lot of mobs around me and I need to get out of the situation, but I can't get him to stop range attacking me. So let's go ahead and let's find that dead zone. If I get up close enough here, he won't be able to range attack me anymore. And now I have him leashed and he has to come back with me. See how I pulled myself out of a cool boar infested area with patrols or anything else that could potentially kill me? I found that sweet spot to where he couldn't range auto attack me anymore and he had to come with me. So again, this is called dead zone and it only applies to like certain situations, but I do think it is a very important. Another tip here involving intercept and escapability. Everybody knows as warrior, their biggest downfall is their lack of mobility in certain situations, whether it's hardcore or classic altogether, and just their lack of escapability. So I want to show you something that you could possibly do to get away from mobs and get off the leash, but also aggroing a different mob using intercept. Now watch what I'm saying here. Let's go ahead and let's just grab a couple of these earth elementals and I will show you exactly what I'm talking about. So let's just say you have a couple of these mobs chasing you. You need to get away. Let's say you're at like 40% health and you just need to get away. I'm going to target my next mob here. I'm going to intercept. Not only does that give me a lead from the other mobs there and they can no longer hit me, it charges the other mob long enough to where I can escape. I can scale down the mountain and be safe and good to go. I wanted to give you guys another tip involving charge and fall damage. Now you can use this for escapability or if you need to get off a cliff, and it actually relates to any sort of height, but I'm just going to give you a quick demonstration here. So I'm going to target this ridge huntress, and if you jump down into your charge range before you hit the ground, it negates all fall damage. So again, you can do this if you're just in a bad spot from mining, or if you're trying to escape from mobs, you would obviously have to use intercept because you're probably in combat. But as you can see here, let me just do a quick demonstration once this ridge huntress gets a little closer. If you just jump down, let's see if I can get it from here. I can charge. I have negated all fall damage. Again, this applies to any sort of mountain height. I know that I would got minimal fall damage there, but it is something that I wanted to show you. The next tip I want to give you guys is mobs that net and what to do in certain situations when it comes to the mobs that net. Now, a lot of the mobs that do net are centaurs, gnolls, naga, and a couple other humanoids. Now, why I'm saying humanoids is humanoids have the chance to run. So if you're a warrior, I'm sure you've had this story play out before where you get netted, you try to kill the mob. Let's say you miss a couple autos and then it runs away while you're still netted. And then it brings back 3 different mobs. And guess what? They net you too. And then if you're playing hardcore, you're probably going again. Right? You're dead. So I'm going to show you exactly what to do in certain situations like this. And let's pull this Wrangler, which I know nets, and let's see if we can draw out a net. And I'm going to show you exactly what to do here. So let's pretend we're just autoing this mob. Let's see if we can get a net to come out. I'll stop here. Let's see if we can get this net to come out. Let's move around a little bit. Come on, pal. Come on, pal. Net me. Net me. Net me. Net me. There we go. I got netted. So now the mob is going to run away and do this, right? So if he was lower all I'm going to do is I'm just going to press escape. I'm going to wait till that net duration goes out, and then I'm going to come finish him off because he's not going to net me 2 times in a row. So after you get netted, literally just press escape on your keyboard. And that way you can wait to get unnetted, and then you can finish off the mob without worrying about missing a couple autos and the mob runs off and grabs some more. So in the summary here, if you get netted like that, don't panic. Just press escape on your keyboard, wait for the net duration to go out, and then go finish off the mob. So if he nets you and he's at like 35%, 40%, literally just press escape, wait for that net duration to come off, and then go finish him off with your execute or whatever ability you have. Another solid tip I wanted to give you guys is using items. Now I know that sounds extremely broad, but let me show you what I mean, and I'm going to show you on different characters so that way if you're playing Horde or Alliance, there's a couple things that you can use to get out of really sticky situations. So now looking at my level 60 hardcore here, I have a couple items that I use frequently, and these are always items that I can get out of bad situations, whether I'm surrounded by mobs, I'm netted, I have runners coming after me, just any sort of situation. I'm stunned, I'm netted, you know, things like that. So obviously first off here, I have a big amount of health potions. You should always have health potions if you're a warrior. There's no reason not to, at least a stack. Make sure they are level equivalent to. You don't want to be stuck with a group stack of minor healing potions in your level 30. But anyways, and make sure they are keybind as well. As you can see, I Shift E enables my healing potion. I also have free action potions. Free action potions make you immune to stun and movement impairing effects for the next 30 seconds. That's if I'm super desperate, but I also, in hardcore that is, and I guess you could also use these in your fresh classic era servers, is using your PvP trinket. Dispels all immobilizing, slowing, and stun effects, and it has a 5-minute cooldown, but that trinket alone will automatically save your life. Now, an item I wanted to show you on the Horde side is really sticky glue. If you look in our bags here, you get this off of a quest in Senjin Village. So I suggest every single Horde player, Tauren, even Undead, going to Senjin Village and doing this quest for really sticky glue. It puts it on a target and they are unable to move for 10 seconds. So you only get a stack of these. You cannot get more. 10 is all you get. Extremely useful for your hardcore journey. Now the Alliance gets something similar a little bit. It's called Bag of Marbles. All it does, it reduces the enemy's hit chance. You can also use that, and that comes in Goldshire as well. But you see people more mid-maxing with that in boss fights at endgame. But I definitely suggest getting not only really sticky glue for Horde, but also the Bag of Marbles in Goldshire for Alliance. Another very basic tip for newer players is the use of Hamstring, or if you're in the Fury tree, using the ability Piercing Howl. Now, Piercing Howl causes all enemies around you to be dazed, reducing their movement speed by 50%, half of their movement speed, for 6 seconds. And you can just continuously stack this if you want, but if you're not in the Fury tree or you're low level, Hamstring works just as well, but it obviously is only single target. Now, Hamstring should just be used all the time. Get in the habit of using it all the time. And with a lot of my tips, the use of Hamstring goes hand in hand with pretty much everything I'm saying. I mean, there's not a reason to not use Hamstring, especially in these early levels. So let's go ahead and let's get a mob down here. I'm going to throw my Hamstring on now. It's a 15-second duration, so you have it for a very long time. Look at the reduced speed. I can catch up to the mob and kill it without worrying about chasing it down or it pulling other mobs. And this goes in hand again with the netting tip that I'm going to explain later. And that's obviously if you can't kill the mob that nets you, Hamstring will help you out very well. Now, if you're a Horde player or even Alliance player, later game Hamstring is actually a great ability, not only to fish out Wind Fury procs later when you get Wind Fury totem from your shaman friends, but it's also good for auto attacking as well. All right, guys, there you have it. I wanted to give you some tips to keep your fresh hardcore warrior alive, or if you're even just playing the classic era non-hardcore fresh realms coming up. Now, I did want to give you some tips that were a little bit outside of the box, but tips that everybody can learn or do, or simply just don't think about all the time. I gave you a couple mobility ones, escapability ones, and what to do in certain situations if you need to get out of places that have a lot of mobs. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to subscribe. I have plenty of videos coming up, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you another time.